Never thought about that. There's Jews in there. Peter Yarrow. Alcohol mix. As if he goes Christ. Nice. Very good. Oh, yeah. But, you know, okay. It
She likes to see us.
weather has cooled down pretty quickly, didn't it?
Yeah, but we walk
From here to here? Oh, nice. Good exercise.
All right, welcome. Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat Shalom.
6 o'clock comes in a hurry. Schmoozing and the Facebook Live tells us we need to get started. So welcome everyone, those of you coming in, we welcome you. How wonderful it is to be here, to be alive on this beautiful night. It's a little bit colder. I got my long sleeve shirt on. Cantor was brave. I'm like, you're a Buffalonian now. And Paul too, right? Yeah, you know, I'd rather not be cold tonight, so I thought, we'll see how it goes. This is our last of our summer Shabbat, as we head into the regular year, Labor Day this weekend. Hard to believe, it creeps up on you. Let's take a nice deep breath of Shabbat. We breathe in everything we want to hold on to and let go everything we want to let go of. Bruce Corus, our immediate past president, for the welcome.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. As you know, we have kicked it up just a little notch this week, and we are now requiring masks under the tent as well as indoor. As we see, as I've said, every week we watch as things evolve, and we evolve with them. So we are taking that extra step beginning tonight, and we appreciate you cooperating with that. And as the rabbi mentioned, it's a beautiful night to be out here. No, I am not wearing a Hawaiian shirt tonight or shorts. Erwin has already said, wear your shorts. But it's a comfortable evening. While this is technically our last official summer service under the tent, hopefully it is not our last service under the tent. Our goal is to be out here throughout the month of September, and then we'll go from there. We're going to shoot for an earlier start time throughout the month of September, 6 o'clock, so that, you know, as it gets a little chillier in the evening, we'll be done before then. So let's see where we go. We will always be weather permitting, and if we cannot be out here, we will be in there. But let's see where we go for the next couple weeks. I'll be back a little bit later with the announcements. Lots coming up. Have you heard? The high holidays are coming. You've heard that? Okay. We'll talk about that and a whole bunch of other stuff. So Shabbat Shalom, and again, welcome to another beautiful summer Shir Shalom Shabbat.
Bruce, while you're up there, we do the honors and flip the switches on our candles here.
Happy to.
We're going to turn to the candle blessings on 120.
Jennifer, you want to do the blessing?
Sure. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kishanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu ye'ad
the candles of Shabbat light our way, even the electric kind. And Bruce, can you lift up our Kiddush cup and we'll turn to 123. That is exactly why we do that. I should do that with wedding couples. I'm so paranoid. We tell them white wine. Do you do that too, Cantor?
I used to, but now I say just go for the red.
I guess you should do what you like, I guess, right? But I'm so paranoid. Maybe we'll just say, don't fill it at all. So our Kiddush for to sanctify Shabbat day 123 at Cantor.
Baruch Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei b'riach ha'afel. Baruch Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu, b'shabbat kosho, b'ahava u'b'ratzon, infilanu, zikaron le'maaseh b'reishit, ki hu yom tehilah le'mikvahei kodesh, zecher l'tziat Mitzrayim, kivanu ha'arta, yatanu hidashta, mikohamim, b'shabbat koshecha, be'ahava u'b'ratzon, inhaltanu, Baruch atah Adonai, mekadesh ha'shabbat. Amen.
L'chaim.
L'chaim. Oh, isn't that some good?
And God doesn't care if there's not really wine.
You
It's
sing
the
it
thought
so
that
beautifully. You should just sing it yourself.
Oh, I follow along with you.
How many of you can remember where you were last Sunday, last Monday? Anyone have an idea? Some of you are even out of the city altogether, traveling. It's quite amazing how much we can pack into the human week, isn't it? I feel that every single week that there are those moments, and Shabbat is about unpacking our week, and Rosh Hashanah about unpacking our year. With that in mind, let's turn to 125, and we will read together in English. Where has this week vanished? Is it lost forever? Will I ever recover anything from it? The joy of life, the unexpected victory, the realized hope, the task accomplished. Will I ever be able to banish the memory of pain, the sting of defeat, the heaviness of boredom? On this day, let me keep for a while what must drift away. On this day, let me be free of the burdens that must return. On this day, Shabbat abide. Help me to withdraw for a while from the flight of time, contain the retreat of the hours and days from the grasp of frantic life. Let me learn to pause, if only for this day. Let me find peace on this day. Let me enter into a quiet world this day. On this day, Shabbat. With that in mind, one more deep breath of Shabbat. Breathing in all we want to hold on to, and out everything we want to get rid of. And I think we are ready now to actually officially welcome Shabbat on page 138 with Lecha Dodi, as we welcome the bride of Shabbat in here, and all the new visitors here. They are angels of Shabbat that are greeting us. We are going to be singing the first and the last verse, and on the last verse we rise and we face out into the field. Maybe a few deer will come by, and we bow to Shabbat as it comes in, and then we welcome each other with our little kingly and queenly waves. Well, what I'm going to do is I wanted to read something from Sheila. She sends me some beautiful poems, and Sheila, who's our greeter over here. So let's see.
Very good.
Every once in a while, it's really inspiring. It's all about our community. So I think before we go into our call of community, I'm going to call on that. It's called On This New Year. On this new year, I reflect on our rabbi on the roof, our Purim spiel, an absolute goof. The hoarding of our passcodes and all these IDs, Cantor Sunday night soirees. Great to hear and see. But now we've crossed that sea of the unknown. We've learned how to Zoom on computer and phone. We still worship together, lit Shabbat candles too. Our homes look like Jeopardy squares, but what else could we do? So when we say L'Shana Tova, we are blessed now to celebrate and have fun. Happy New Year, no longer just 3 words we repeat. Let us reflect the meaning of each one. Happy comes from being here today. New gives us hope for a brighter day. Year is a celebration we look forward to together. Good health, peace, and love. May it last forever. It's a very nice one. Thank you, Sheila. And she always has some wonder. I don't know about the soirees. I'll have to figure it out.
I don't remember them.
No, but just it's a hard one to rhyme. So she's very brave
She'll
to
have
try
to
to write.
remind me what I did on Sunday night. Oh!
Now we're ready to ride as community for the Barfuar call to prayer, page 146.
Sing with me.
Page 149 at the bottom together. This is an hour of change. Within it we stand uncertain on the border of light. Shall we draw back or cross over? Where shall our hearts turn? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over? This is the hour of change, and within it we stand quietly on the border of light. What lies before us? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over? Baruch atah Adonai hamariv. Page 150, our love for God and God's love for us. Avat Olam. Will be eternal.
Israel,
Bless you, God, who loves your people Israel. The Shema 152, 153. Page 154, the to hear those words. I was talking to Mike Frisch before, and he had a theory that teach your children well might have been based on the V'ahavta. So, how cool will that be? Why don't we read together on 159 in this week, especially with events in this world, and Afghanistan in particular. Peace is so important. Why don't we read this song of peace for our Shir Shalom community. It's 1:59. Sing the song of men and women joined in understanding and respect, the song of God's miracles, an earth protected and cherished, a gift for our children and the generations to come, the song of a land once ravished by war, now quiet and content, her soldiers home to leave no more, the song of a world redeemed, the song of peace. So with that in mind, we move in to the Tephila Prayer, which starts on page 164. I invite you to sit or stand, whatever is your custom, and we're going to take a couple of minutes of quiet reflection, take in all the beauty around us. Whenever you're ready, we are going to resume with a prayer that's familiar in the holidays, page 662. Hashivenu. Hashivenu. Return us to you, and we will return. Renew our days as of old. If you notice on 62, it tells you this is from the Lamentations. It comes from a moment of complete sadness when the Babylonians had destroyed the Second Temple. And here we come back begging God, please, in this moment, let us return. We're ready for you. And that's the prayer that we really enter into High Holidays in. May God bring us back, help us recover. We're going to turn now to the Mishaberach, our prayer for healing, on page 371. Just want to point out we have a guest over here that I wish she could be here directly. It's April Khan and her mother. She's in this black car. She's had terrible go of it with long COVID, and we're going to send a lot of prayers out to her. I know she told me now she's walking again. And if you meet April, she's very vibrant, young and strong person, and this is a very serious thing. So we so grateful to have her and her mom here, even if it's all the way over there. Hopefully she could hear a little bit. I don't know. So we're praying for some others in our community. We are thinking about Gail Ackerhall, David Atkinson, Ebony Burse, Michael Berwick, Noah Camacho, David Campbell, Karen Cooper, Arthur Dezelke, Lori Eback, Faggy Fox, Irene Green, Jeff Hamilton, Reed Hefner, Nancy Herzron, Sue Hill, Robert Caton, Mark Nightinger, Ken Kellick, Leslie Kramer, Tony Legalbo, Diane Lynch, Larry Max, Barry Jareen Matos, Jean McGarry, Helene Mesh, Jennifer Milich, Mary Rumez, Charlene Ripsick, Doris Sirota, Michael Citron, Frank Shinta, Cindy Baum, Christopher Smith, Jerry and Janice Suffren, Meg Wagner, Anita Weisel, Jeffrey Winnick, Fred Weiner, Mark Yablin, Elizabeth Jeezy Yeager, Christine Zelowiski, Hannah Ezra Ben Shuel, Amir Ben Tova, Tova Bat Miriam, Rachel Leah, and Aaron Ben Rafaela. I will take all those names, and if you have others you'd want to say.
Don, Kyra, Naomi.
Sheldon Lloyd.
Take all those names into our hearts. Page 371 with the Misha Barrett. Send healing to all those that we love and to ourselves, a complete healing of body and soul. We say amen. So earlier today, Ashira wanted to get me away from High Holy Days, and she asked where we should go, and she found really the perfect place, which is the Albright Knox. Now you might be aware the actual Albright Knox is under immense construction, which is apparently ahead of schedule, would you believe? They are scheduled to reopen, and they're reimagined. It'll be next year, almost a year from now. And it's going to be an incredible museum. But they are in the Northland Plaza. There is in Northland, on Northland, there is a wonderful large space that they've rented during this time. And it's really, really incredible. Has anyone here had a chance to go see it? If you go right by ECMC, if you just make a right on Northland, you'll see it. There's a yellow smokestack, and it's right beside over there. It's wonderful, and they have a great exhibit which we loved, and I highly recommend. And I actually have a picture that I drew today. It's very experimental. For those of you familiar, this is basically the artwork of Hervé Toulet. I'm sorry if I butchered his name. He's French. And he's an experimental artist that my kids love. A number of years ago, he came out with a children's book that's Press Here. And it's with all these bright colors, just like this. And there's little dots, and you press down on it, and then suddenly it says if you press on this, if you move the dot, suddenly there's 12 dots, and it's very creative. And he has about 4 or 5 of the same books. They're really fun, not just for kids. And you come into Northland. It's a very wide and big space, and you see on the walls all these beautiful yellows and reds and greens and blues. And the way he does his artwork, it's very simple. Kids could do it. It looks like things that even younger kids, and it's meant to be that. It's experimental. It's meant to be fun. He really, through his artistry, wants to help people create. So one of the things that he does, he draws a page of blue, and he'll cut up the center circle. So there's like a circle in the middle. He'd tear it out, and then he crumples it up, and then he puts it back. And suddenly, it's amazing. It's a piece of artwork. In the exhibit, they actually have all sorts of ways to do this. And so they give you sheets. This one, I actually didn't draw the yellow lines on it. They give you that, and they give you the markers, and then you can cut up or do whatever you'd like. I got to talk, one of the great things they have over there also is they have artists in residence. And I got to talk to several of them that they're actually working on their pieces while you're there. And they're very friendly. I talked to both of them. Each of them, there was 2 of them. One of them was named Fettini Galenis, and the other Max Collins. And they very, very different type of art. Fettini, who's wonderful. She has this experiment that she does all over the world, where she takes these wooden cubes, and she puts all different things on top of them. One of them has grass. Another one has a pin cushion on top of it. Another one has leis, like Hawaiian leis, tied all around it. And then she asked you to take one of these blocks and draw it. Draw it in a 1 minute, in a 5 minute, and 10 minutes, and then write your wish for the day, for the year. And it's amazing to see what happens. People are really transformed. Sometimes we go into like the Albright Knox and we just get intimidated. Wow, how did they do that? It's incredible. We could never do that. It's sort of, this version of art is an inside out. It's meant to give you the freedom. These are artists that are saying, you could do this too. This is not something that's impossible to do. Let's all do this together. So I bring this up because I think it's really what Torah study, what Judaism is about. Sometimes we think of the very serious nature. You come into a synagogue and it's very serious. The rabbi and cantor don't smile. The organist doesn't smile. Everyone is very serious. They're dressed to the nines. If they want to talk, they go out of the building. And all the prayers are very, very serious. But I don't think that that's the way it's intended to be. Everything about Judaism is meant to be fun. It's meant to feel like you can take ownership of it, that you can play around with it just like you play around with artwork. That the Torah shouldn't be in our arks over there, only touched by the high and mighty clergy, by the elders of our congregation. That is not what's intended. You're meant to open it, to play with it. It's in a scroll. It's meant to be there. And when we study it, we're not meant to take the words at their face value. As one of my favorite rabbis in Jewish tradition from the Talmud, and if you don't think the rabbis have a sense of humor, just his name alone tells you that they do. His name is Ben Bagbao. Is there any way, even 2,000 years ago, that that wasn't meant in jest? Because it's just fun to say. And he says something which would be completely controversial in many other religious settings. He says, Hafochbo, Hafochbo Kulobo. Hafochbo, turn it, which also means make things the opposite. He's talking about the Torah. Make them the opposite, and turn it, and turn it, and turn it. Everything is in it. We're meant to keep playing and turning. So every time, as Mike Frisch and I were talking about before service, every time we look at it, we should be able to find something new. That is not just my insight, your insight, all of our insights. And when that happens, it suddenly changes the way that we see our faith. Because it lightens it. Just like I, today, and my family, we got to see what maybe the museums of the future are like. These museums where it isn't about just looking at things, it's about touching them, experimenting, learning, and growing. So that when you exit, it's not just an experience for your head, it's for your heart as well, and for your whole body and whole self. May we enter into this very serious time with a little bit of Rsvp. Sorry, I'm trying to get the name right. If you speak French, you can tell. Rsvp Tule. May we have his spirit of joy, and may that be how we exit the high holidays. Amen. Okay, so back to the series. And now for something completely different. We are ready for Aleinu, which is all about oneness in this world. Let us rise in honor of Aleinu, in honor of God, in honor of all that we love in this world. 586. Ourselves and with the world. May be seated. We are going to be turning to our mourner's Kaddish, hanging over all of our service, our memorials and remembrances, as we evoke the memory of those we love, in order to bring them here with us and to let them know we have not forgotten them. We are grateful Mark and Sue are back in town. And I know that it was a very long and difficult week as Mark said goodbye to his brother, Kenneth Nightinger, of blessed memory. And we know how important their brotherly love was for each other. So grateful that you were able to make it there for the funeral and to come back safely as well. On Sunday, we have the memorial service. It's hard to put the exact framework. Don Barish, who was a wonderful congregant. He actually died a year and a half ago in March of 2020. But because COVID, it was right like the first or second week, they delayed and all the proceedings, and they finally decided this is the time. And of course, we're still in COVID, but we're going to be having one of these things that happened during COVID. We have a burial of the Cremains, and we have an unveiling of the stove. And we're going to have, because she missed out on Shiva as well, we're going to have Shiva at Helene's residence that night at 7 as well. So if you are able to be present, there will be mass required at the home, and it's at Whitechapel at 11 on Sunday. But if you want to reach out, this has been such a hard time, and hopefully I'm praying this will bring a little closure for the whole Barish family. It's just been so difficult during this time. We're also remembering Lynn Converso Miller, who died recently, and my neighbor's mom, Rosemary Chow. On our list, yard-side list from years past, we remember Betty Barker, Elizabeth Bell, Jack Bernstein, Saloon Bahovsky, Francis Bink, Barbara Brogadier, David Budek, Leo Berwick, Eugene Chertoff, Theodore A. Cohan, Saul Cutler, Gerald Glasser, William Goldberg, Irving Goldstein, Joseph Graber, Pamela Hirschberg, Jacob Hesch, Selah Hesch, Lizzie Iggers, Betty Markel Jacobson, Milton Jaffe, Willard Johnson, Harriet Carls, Louis Culloden, Samuel Kushner, Emil D. Laufer, David Margulis, Abe Martin, Marie Malucci, Pauline Newman, Ralph Olshan, Aaron Plaskin, Dr. Max Revo, Evelyn Solomons, Sam Strauss, Martin Tall, Minnie Taubkin, Robert Victor, Lawrence Wiener, and Harriet Chazen Wexler. If you have other names you'd like to offer.
Gary Willick and Arlene Rawson.
William Namiski.
William Schwartz and Lawyer Kramer.
Larry Dietrich.
Terry Miller.
We'll take all those names into our hearts, as well as all the people that have lost their lives. Unfortunately, we had the hurricane. There's been so many events with Hurricane Ida, as well as what's going on in Afghanistan. So we send a lot of prayers out to those as well. So page 598. Please rise if this is your custom. Yitkadal, Yitkadash, Shemei Rabbah, Yalma, Divra, Kirte, Yamlik, Mahute, V'chayefon, V'yamefon, V'chayei Dechol Beit Yisrael, V'agalav Yisman, Karib, Yibru, Amen. Yehei Shmei Rabbah, Levorach, Leolam, Leon Maya. Yiparak, V'yishtabak, V'yipa'ar, V'yitraman, V'yitnaseh. Yitadar, V'yitaleh, V'yitalal, Shmei D'Kudishah, B'rechu. Leila min kol birkata v'shirata, tush v'chata v'nechamata, yamiran v'yalma v'yiburu amen, yehi shlam rabba min shemaya, chayim alida v'yal kol Yisrael v'yiburu amen, oseh shalom v'yiburu, uya seh shalom, aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael v'yal kol yoshvei tevel v'yiburu amen. May God grant peace to all those who are bereaved and in grief, and to our world, and we say amen.
Amen.
You may be seated. May the blessing, memories be for a blessing. Bruce chorus again, and as he said, there are a lot of announcements.
Shabbat Shalom again, everyone. Mazel tov to Jack Lucan Johnson and his family on his upcoming bar mitzvah this weekend. Thank you to Rabbi Alex, Cantor Frank, Paul Staley for a beautiful service tonight in honor of Shabbat. I don't know if you guys noticed, but there have been a couple of deer grazing. They're still there. They've been there the whole. They didn't even leave during your sermon. They have been there the whole time. In fact, they're well, look, his ears perked up. Their ears just perked. They said, "Oh, Bruce is doing the announcements. Let me listen a little more closely." Look at that. That's so great. They've been there the whole time. One of the wonderful things about our outdoor sanctuary here is the wildlife, and they're still there. We have deer, we have wild turkey, we have geese. Occasionally we have a bear wander through here, but only when we have a bear mitzvah. So, sorry. Anyway, thank you to Kyle Burt for the outdoor setup and Allison Weinberger for our outdoor sound setup. And thank you to everyone who RSVP'd tonight. As I've said all along, it is so important that we continue to have RSVPs for the outdoor services as well as the indoor ones, so we can have the setup correct and make sure that we have enough chairs and, of course, ice cream treats. Tomorrow morning, we have Torah study at 9, the Shabbat morning service and virtual Kiddush luncheon at 11. They are both via Zoom. Rabbi Alex is also leading a Shabbat morning service at Canterbury Woods tomorrow at 11. That is only for residents of Canterbury. And the bar mitzvah of Jack Lucan Johnson will take place off-site tomorrow at 5:30 p.m., and that will be via Boxcast, Facebook, and YouTube. Speaking of 5:30 tomorrow morning, who wants to get up tomorrow morning at 5:30 so they can watch Rabbi Alex and Joe Glickman on TV? There's a segment. There's a segment on Kaleidoscope which will air tomorrow morning at 5:30 on Channel 2. This is all about shofar blowing, and as we know, Joe is the middle of the 3 generations of Glickmans that have been blowing the shofar here for as long as I can remember. His late father Marshall and his son Stephen. So it's a nice segment. The rabbi talked to Joe about it, and it will air tomorrow morning at 5:30, and I'm not going to be up to watch it. But it'll be on the YouTube channel, and there'll be a rebroadcast and stuff. So look for an email that will tell you when you can watch it and where else, because show of hands, who's going to be up tomorrow morning at 5:30 to watch the... there you go.
I love you.
Sonia Sugarman will be up to watch you. She's always up at 5:30. I understand. High Holy Day tickets. The High Holy Days will begin Monday night with Erev Rosh Hashanah. And the High Holy Day tickets were mailed out to members in good standing last week. If you did not receive yours, talk to Joanne after the service. Please see the cover of the September High Notes or your tickets for all of the service details. Real quick, Erev Rosh Hashanah, 1 service. Yom Kippur morning, 2 services, split by alphabet. Then a family service, and then the second day Rosh Hashanah service. We'll talk about Yom Kippur later.
Did you mean Rosh Hashanah? I think you said Yom Kippur.
No, I said we'll talk about Yom Kippur later,
Oh,
I
was
think.
it? Oh.
Okay. So, and again, we split the morning service because of social distancing and capacity of the room. Erev Rosh Hashanah, we should be fine with 1 service because we'll be using the social hall and the sanctuary, and the seats will be spaced out. So, masks required. When you walk into the building, your mask must be on. So we appreciate your cooperation for that. Watch for an email, by the way, about Walk Off Hunger. That is coming up soon. It's the first weekend in October, and it's back here, right where it began. Just like we did last year, one of the locations will be here, so you can walk the original route of Walk Off Hunger through the neighborhood. I still need to set up the Shir Shalom team. That's on me. So as soon as I have the Shir Shalom team set up so you can join it, an email will go out and you can sign up. But that's the first weekend in October. There's events Friday afternoon. The walk is Saturday morning, and there's an auction that's going on online all weekend long. This is the 14th annual Walk Off Hunger, and it all started right here. We have raised so much money over those years to feed the hungry in Western New York. What a mitzvah. Next Friday, our Shabbat service will be at 6 o'clock p.m. under the tent, weather permitting. If this weather is not permitting, we'll be indoors in the sanctuary. And as we've been doing, we're not going to send out an email letting you know. Use your judgment. If it's pouring rain, we'll be inside. If it's, wind blowing in a monsoon, we'll be inside. If it's pleasant, we'll be outside. So let's hope for pleasant. And again, RSVP for the service, please. Shabbatas will be back on Tuesday, September 21st. We're going to get through the high holidays. Then we will do our next Shabbatas. So be sure to go to the website and sign up for your dinner in advance. There are those who suggested that we do a Shabbatas break fast for Yom Kippur. I said, it's not fair to the workers and the temple members. And he said, well, what about an Erev Rosh Hashanah Shabbatas chicken dinner? Again, I said, no, Rabbi, I appreciate your thoughts. I appreciate your thinking of the temple. It's just not going to work. Anyway, and as I've said many times, we continue to evaluate. As you see tonight, we changed our protocol slightly from last week. We will continue to do that, always with your safety in mind. If you need anything at all, please feel free to reach out to the rabbi, the cantor, Joanne, Todd, or myself. We are here for you. Thank you, as always, for being part of this wonderful Shir Shalom family. I thought we were going to have ice cream treats, but I don't think so.
No
They might still make it. If the ice cream treats make it, you can help yourself to ice cream treats. If the ice cream treats don't make it, complain to Joanne. Yes, Ellen?
We don't need to do any reservations for the holidays.
I don't believe so.
No, for high holidays, it's grouped by letters.
Yeah.
for the
Yeah, no,
two-
And-
I saw that, I just wanted to make sure, because everything else,
Well, Erev Rosh Hashanah is one service, and
Yeah.
that, based on the numbers from previous years and what we anticipate this year, we should be fine. The day services, the morning services for Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, we split them by alphabet because we just figured we couldn't. So the morning services for Rosh Hashanah, what are they,
9:30
and 11:30?
and 11:30.
9:30 and 11:30. One is A to L, the other is M to Z. Please try to stay with your group if you can, because which one is which? I don't know. It's in the list.
It's reverse. It starts out
Schmeidler
A to L
Baginski
and
team. You know what? Eeny, meeny, miny. Go with Schmeidler. There we go.
Oh, you have a
I'll
hyphenated
Paul.
name?
Paul always go with Carol, right? Okay. Shabbat shalom, everyone.
See, my hyphenate named L and K are right next to it. We do have shofar blow.
Oh, by the way, forgot one thing. I forgot one thing. Thank you to Sheila for ushering tonight.
We do have shofar blowing in the park, so we're going to be at Amberley at 11:30, okay, and Weinberg at 11, Amberley at 11:30, on our parking lot at 12, and we're going to be downtown at the Network of Religious Communities, 1299 Delaware? I don't know.
Is that
That's
Monday?
on Monday. So if you want, Stephen told me in our interview, he can blow the shofar for 1 minute. Wow. Which, if you think about it, is just incredible. So if you want to hear him, it's incredible. He blows, he'll blow at all of those places the Tikiagano lies. It's quite incredible. And if you want to get up early on Sunday, I interviewed Susan and Steve Schwartz on the network's of Religious Communities radio program. So you can, at any early morning, you can hear me straight. So one of the choir members, one of the years around high holidays, says, "I woke up in a daze. Were you on TV?"
They probably had the TV on since last night. And all of a sudden there's a familiar voice.
It's very funny. The Network of Religious Communities, Stan Bratton, runs a lot of programs, and he asked me to do them. It's very, very nice. All right, we are ready for our closing prayers, and so we have a Don Olam on 6:25. birthday boy. Paul, why don't you come on up? Come on, and you and Carol can take home the challah.
And the ice cream native.
Yeah, just hold it up and we'll take off the cover. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen. B'tei avon. As you came in peace, may you leave in peace. May you return your prayer books and have ice cream. Shabbat shalom. Happy birthday to you. Shabbat shalom.
Don't forget your